Hello and welcome to SOVL. SOVL is a turn-based strategy game in which you pitch two armies against one another. So you imagine your medieval and Renaissance style forces, so sword and shield guys, some spears on one side, some halberds on the other, but then you also get fantasy elements cut in. So yes, you have the normal ranks of dudes, but then there's trolls on one flank, or a giant on another, and a wizard throwing fireballs in the centre, stuff like that. It's very reminiscent of Warhammer Fantasy Battles and this kind of board game based fighting simulator, so if you have any familiarity with those you'll be right at home. If not, it's relatively straightforward, you'll pick it up quickly. This will be a maximum difficulty campaign, so I'm going to be doing this in such a way that we'll be min-maxing our choices and going for the best, I'm using air quotations with my fingers here, best options. I do that because there's arguably going to be some occasions where it could go either way, but we're going to be playing it in such a way where we're just trying to crush the game and beat it, despite it trying its hardest to stop us. So as you've seen from the title and thumbnail, we'll be playing with the Empires of Man as the captain. Now the captain is probably the weakest of the three Empire of Man characters. The wizard can get his amazing spells to do nasty damage, and then the knight commander comes with a unit of heavy cavalry, whereas the captain just starts with some bog standard swordsmen, which is fine, but we'll demonstrate that even the weaker individual can beat the campaign on the highest difficulty. So as you go through, you unlock higher and higher difficulties, so we'll be being maxed out 7. The end doesn't get any harder. There's no tutorial in SOVL, so for the first battle specifically I'll kind of explain the base mechanics, but after that we'll whiz by those. Otherwise it's going to be I'll explaining the decision making without repeating the kind of basic stuff too much. Let's go into our campaign. Okay, so we'll start with the most important decision we'll make throughout the entirety of this run. Our starting 2 units, you get a total of 3. Your character dictates the starting unit you get, so our captain starts with a unit of swordsmen. Just what we get. So we've already got a kind of standard holding infantry unit. We don't want to duplicate it, so we'll go with Imperial Light Cavalry. That leaves us with a second choice. We don't really need another light cavalry. One will serve the purpose, and crossbows compared to the cannon just wins. The cannon is a fantastic option. So in terms of the strongest options for your Empire of Man captain, probably the light cav on the first one and the cannon on the second is the best choice. You may take heavy cavalry if it appears here. It's heavy cavalry versus the cannon is pretty much 6 and 2 3s. They're both excellent, but I like the cannon, so we'll go with that. That's our army. So here's Act 1. Now we're going to be playing this in such a way that we want to get from A to B, being the left side of the screen, to the right side of the screen. We're going to move through while we get through these stopping points. I'll explain what each of them are quickly. Battles are these cross swords. Your army will face an enemy army in exchange for golden experience at the risk of sustaining casualties. Random events, these question mark dice, difficult to explain in advance, but they can be usually quite beneficial for you, so you can counter an optional battle against a herd of minotaurs, or a holy lake to bestow a blessing on you, or a mercenary who you can hire. Any one of a number of things. Usually pretty good, but not quite as good as fights for a reason I'll explain shortly. So we get gold from the fights. Why do we want gold? Well, we can spend them at these armories, these little animal signs. They're shops in which you can buy new units and upgrade the ones you already have. There's these swords down. These are elite battles, which are regular fights but harder in exchange for more gold, like 100% more. And then last but not least are these tents, so campsites. In lieu of fighting a battle, you can instead attend a campsite where everyone in your army gets a round of healing, and then you can either take experience or a second round of healing. Typically you want to avoid these. The reason being is that if you're doing well, you don't need to bother with them. You can just go to take more fights because you get more gold. You'd only want to go to a campsite if your army's taking a very nasty kick and you need some healing. So we're going to navigate our way left to right while taking as many battles as possible. That's our objective. So if we have a start here, you can go 2-2 random event, and then you're stuck at this top path, which is a lot of random events, which is unfortunate. So down here is probably better. Again, we might as well skip the random event and go with 3 fights instead. We'll get to here. If we come down here, we're stuck on this path, which means we're going to be stuck taking one of these. So probably the best route to us is here, the shop, and then here we get an elite, which is great. 1 random event we're forced to go through, and then a fight, and then a fight. So that's our best maximum battles approach to generate as much gold as possible. Here's our army. So SOVL has now fully integrated its 3D models. So I like Cav they're armed with pistols each, so they can shoot at range as well as engage in combat. The starting swordsman and a cannon. Excellent, that's what we'll go into the first battle with. Against Orc Scouts. Okay, so the Orcs they'll have a unit of standard infantry, a bit like my swordsman equivalent, and they'll have a unit of their cavalry, which is Orcs riding boars, but it counts as cavalry, I suppose. So they'll probably be on the flank, and I anticipate they would almost certainly be there, so we'll deploy away from them. The cannon is a fantastic counter to shooting though, so I'm going to put the cannon in such a position that it can bombard them effectively. I'll have you there to start running this way, which is fine, and then you here to start skirmishing, like so. I think that's good. Yes, their cavalry's over here, here's their light ones, so the game is predicated upon the roll of 6-sided dice, so I roll the dice, the enemy roll the dice, they rolled higher than me, which means they get to go first. By going first, it just means they get to move their unit first, which for us in this instance is fantastic, because it means I get to see where they're going to move. Now the only two keys you need throughout this game are the X key and the C key, or on shift as well. So the X key will give away what your charge radius is. If there's anything in the enemy zone, in this blue zone at the end of the combat phase, start of the charge phase, you can charge them. Vice versa, if you hold the C key, you can see the enemy zone. If you don't want to be charged and engage the enemy in combat, stay out of this. So they've moved to there, move our swordsmen up here, so we can start getting around the side of them later. Forward come their cavalry. They haven't reached us, which is great, because it gives my cannon here time to start blasting them. Cannons are a bit funny, they're unique for units, so you're forced to choose between either shooting them or moving them, so be careful that you're outside of the enemy's charge range when you do this. We're clearly fine for now, so we'll take our shot. Now cannons, unlike normal things, they don't roll to hit dice or anything, rather they just roll a single dice, a d3, the result will be either 1, 2 or 3, and that's the number of hits you get. So we rolled a 1, so the minimum. The enemy then gets to try and roll a save. It says 6+ here, why does it say that? Well, to determine a save throw after we've hit them, we've got 1 hit, you compare the power of the attack against the defense of the receiver. So the cannon here has a power of 8 against the enemy's defense of 5. So when you're 3 or more greater, power is overwhelmingly greater relative to the enemy's defense. They can only save on a 6+, or in other words, on the roll of a 6-sided dice, only the roll of a 6 counts as a success. So they rolled a 5, they rolled really well, but that's still not good enough. They rolled a 6, a cannonball went straight through one of the boar riders, producing a nice sum of bacon right about here to be picked up later. So that's our cannon done. Now we get our light cavalry here. We do not want to engage the enemy's heavy cavalry with our light cavalry, that would be disastrous. So instead we're going to stay away from them, and we can do some more shooting, because we're all armed with pistols. So if you have a look at this, this is a normal round of shooting. To determine the hit roll when you're shooting with normal guns, you take the number 7 and you subtract your skill. So 7 minus 3 is 4. We're hitting on 4+, or in other words, the roll of a 4, 5 or 6 succeed, 1, 2 or 3 fail. However, when we hover over those boar riders, you'll notice that it says 5+. That's a bit weird. It's because we're suffering a -1 penalty due to being at long range. Long range is dictated by shooting at a target that is more than half of your maximum distance away. So you can see those two different colorations there. If an enemy was in the lighter green zone, it would be hitting on 4+ because it's easier, but at this further distance we have worse odds at hitting them, so we'll get 10 shots because they get 2 pistols each, so 10 hitting on 4+. We get 4 hits, and then we do 1 wound. We're power 4 with our pistols against the enemy's defense of 5. They have superior defense, which means they save on a 3+, or 3, 4, 5 or 6 succeed, only a 1 or 2 fail. So 4, 5 and 4 are all passed saves, their armour sustains the blows, they're tough enough. The 2,000 they take 1 wound, boar riders have 2 wounds each, so you can hover over them and see it denoted by this one's got half his wounds gone in the red, so we'll maybe finish him off later. Two. Okay, so we're not going to engage charges because I can reach the orc warriors with my light cavalry, but that would be a horrendous idea. They'd get slaughtered trying to take them head on. Okay, the orc warriors are menacing my swordsman captain. I'm not going to charge them for now. I'm going to keep away from them, draw their attention over here. Forward come the boar riders. That's good because it means I can probably, with my fast light cavalry, zip through them and get out the way. Perfect. So this is what I'll do. Because I know I'm going to be running by them, what I can do is I can stop here, take them. Now they might get close enough to be in short range, so it hits on 4+. Get a lot of hits, lovely, and do some nice damage. So we kill 2 more, and then we'll get by it. So we're beyond their charge range. Nothing can see me. Great. Stop there, and we'll just turn so we can shoot them easier next turn. Like so, stay nice and out of their range. So it was important we shoot with the light cavalry first, because one of them had already taken a wound, whereas you might end up wasting damage with the cannon. The cannon kind of overspills, so you're not going to have to worry about it. Just wipe the units out. You can shoot with either or. Okay, just unit of orc warriors now, they're pretty much helpless. They're going to have to pick a unit to engage. We're not going to charge anything, why would we bother? They've chosen to turn around and menace my light cav. We don't care because now we can rear charge them with our swordsmen. There's a number of benefits to doing this, I'll show you in a moment, but Before we do that, while we're in the strategic phase, we might as well bombard them with all my shooting. And then you can turn and do a bunch of damage. This does matter because the more ranks of the enemy we kill, the worse their discipline check will be. What on earth is a discipline check? I'll show you in a moment. So the enemy can obviously see us and they can charge us because we're in range. Oh no! The reason I didn't bother moving the light cavalry out of the way is because I have a unit in their back. So when you charge an enemy unit in the flank or rear, it counts as an intercept charge. So among the many benefits of doing this, one of the crucial ones is that any charges the enemy are attempting to make is cancelled. They cannot perform any charges when flanked or reared. So in our swordsman and captain go. Now bear in mind you can't shoot into active combat, so you can see that I can't target them with the cannon, we're just stuck here, so we'll just leave that. We'll leave them there in case if they hold combat miraculously and don't run away, they'll turn around, at which point our light cav can rear charge them, so you'll stay there as well. Also can't shoot. That leaves our captain, who has his special ability, Inspire Valor. Activate once per battle, give all units +1 combat score until end of turn. So when we have a combat here, I'll show you, it's going to make it easier for us to break them and have them run. That's it? Okay. So we're in melee combat now, which is great. So how does this work? Now for hit rolls, unlike shooting where you take the 7 minus your skill trick, this is just comparing skill directly against the enemy skill. So Captain Lysander here is skill 4, 3 attacks. He's going to be attacking the Savage Defenders Orc Warriors, who are skill 3, so we have better skill than the enemy, meaning we hit on 3+. So a 3, 4, 5 or 6 succeed, a 1 or 2 fail. That represents you being superior to your combat enemy in combat. You have a better than not odds of hitting them, or 66% chance. He misses every time, amazingly, 2-2-1. So never mind, we'll rely on our standard swordsmen. There are 9 of them, with 1 attack each, so 9 attacks. They have equal skill to the enemy, so skill 3 versus skill 3, which means we hit on 4+, 4, 5 or 6. You have an exactly 50-50 chance of hitting. It represents the 2 combatants having equal skill. You have a 50-50 chance. It's fair, isn't it? We hit 5 times, which is good, and we're power 4 against defense 4. They have a 4-up save because it's equal, they lose 2, and they run. So when you lose combat, you're forced to take a break test, which is your discipline check minus how much you lost by. How much you lost by is determined by how many wounds you took, and if you were flanked or rear charged. So they took 2 wounds, they were rear charged, which is 3, and then our Inspire ability on Captain Lysander increased our score by 1, so they lost by 4. So realistically they had no chance of holding combat, so they run away. All enemy units either dead or broken, victory achieved, no casualties sustained, perfect. At the end of a battle you'll get a flat sum of gold up here, so 63. All of your guys will generate 1 point of experience. If there's anyone who sustained wounds, you might get a little bit of passive healing, but we're fine. And then you're given a choice for each unit. You can either take a round of healing, so you can rest, or extra gold, where basically full HP, the starting unit of swordsmen starts low because of the difficulty we're on, but they're perfectly viable at that size, so don't worry about it. We'll go max cash. Perfect. Excellent start. Couldn't go any better. Straight into the next battle against Goblin Raiders. Now there's liable to be something shooting back at me this time, so I'm going to have to be a bit more careful. If I were a goblin who was waiting there to shoot at me, I would probably be parked back here somewhere. So what I'd love to do is get my cavalry to spring on their light skirmishers at the back, because then you can overrun them. So maybe I'll put the cannon over there. Well, maybe in the centre, so if there is anything shooting them there, they can just chin it for them. Them shooting at the cannon would be great, because it basically doesn't. It's very tough and hard to hit and doesn't stand a lot of damage. You there, and then you in the middle in case they're in some difficult to reach spot. I guess that will do. They're over there, interesting. That's going to be a hassle to get to. Okay. They're going first. Which means I might be able to flank them here if I'm lucky. So they've shot me. They get 12 shots. They had 5s to hit because it's quite far away. So 6, 5 hit. They've got 4 hits. Their power 3 in their short bows against the defense of my swordsman at 4. So I have better defense against power. 3+ to save because I have better defense. I take 2 casualties. 2 swordsmen get hit by arrows and go down. Okay, I'm going to optimistically assume that when I flank them with my light cav here, they can probably... Well, they're going to come forward and get in the way. I might have to charge them in the front, which is a bit annoying. I can't reach them with these. They're too slow this turn. I'd have to take 2 turns to get there. Yeah, they're going to block me by coming forward here. That's a bit of a hassle. So let's, just in case, start reducing their numbers with the cannon. Splat 1 goblin. Yeah, I kind of saw that coming. So I would love to have stood here and hit them in the side, but they're not going to let me. So what we have to do instead is put my light cavalry into their front. It's better than engaging them up close than leaving them constantly shoot me, so I might as well just throw myself in. Before I do that, I might as well take the shot. It means they get less hits on me when I charge. We hit amazingly, do fantastic damage, great. Seriously reducing their ranged impact. In fact, with only 6 of them left, I may reconsider. I may instead stay out of combat and just let them shoot my captain and... Nah, let's just kill them now. What am I waiting around for? Forward you come. So they've already reached my cannon, which is a tad annoying. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start running the cannon away. So I have to reposition or shoot, so I'm going to reposition and get you away from them. They can't reach me over here, I wouldn't think, so I think we're safe doing this. Yeah, they've gone for the swordsman, which is fine. Let's have the swordsman delay a turn, because if they can, these will then be free to come around and start flanking and re-engaging the enemy. So just get to there. Here we go with combat again. So I have 2 attacks each on my Imperial Light Cav, so 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 attacks, equal skill hitting on 4s. 4 hits, not great, but they're pretty weak, so power 4, defense 2. They get 1 hit back, dealing 0 wounds. So with their terrible discipline goblins have, I'm hoping they run. They do run, excellent. I'm free to move. Now we could charge them again to finish them off, but with discipline that low, more often than not, so when you roll a discipline check, you have to roll 2 dice and roll equal to or less than your discipline. So they're 5, which means they have to roll a 1 to 5 on 2 dice. The average is 7, so more than likely they just run away of their own accord, so we'll just leave them. They're still pestering my poor cannon here. I'm never going to let you reach it, don't even try. Obviously it'd be foolish to let them engage it in combat, it will die almost immediately. They're turning to face me here, which makes this very easy. We'll put you into their back arc. That's a free rear charge. They fail to rally, great, we can ignore them. I'll have you come over here and start whittling these down. Try and get into short range. We do get into short range. Fire away. 2 less goblins, bang bang. Off they go off the field. Rear charge these goblin mobs. They can't, so the other benefit to rear charging is that the enemy can't hit back. They're just helpless there. So you get all of your attacks for free and they can't do anything about it. You're still pestering my poor cannon, how dare you. I'm not actually going to charge them, I'm just going to get all lovely hit. They saved well, but never mind, we did some pretty nice damage. Done. I could rear charge them and break them, but we're min-maxing here, so let's just keep kiting them until they're all dead. No reason to be greedy here. Lysander and his swordsman versus the goblins. Can you do better than last turn? You missed every time. There you go, 1 hit. His power 5 is quite strong against the enemy's defensive 3. He kills 1, and then the remaining 7 swordsmen, because I took 2 casualties, hit terribly, but hopefully that's enough to break them. They're only goblins. So unless they roll double 1, they are broken. Now I could charge them again immediately. I'm going to hold off a moment, because if they rally I can wait and see and then I can charge them anyway. There's no reason to... They've failed to chase my cannon this turn, so we'll start blasting them. 3 hits. Oh yeah, look at that. Go straight through the line. I was hoping to get all 3 and it looked like it killed them all. They have rallied, so the reason they managed that, they rolled a 6. They need a 7 because, yes, it's your discipline, but plus how many ranks you have. So full ranks, they have 1, 2, so 5 plus 2 is 7. They have to roll a 7 or less, they rolled a 6. They made it. So never mind, we'll just hit them again. And then here I have no interest in engaging in combat. Let's shoot a goblin mob and move around. Dead, 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 dead. There's an goblin left. I guess I can just leave the cannon to deal with that. I'll have you come up here. Now I could rear charge this unit. However, there is, in theory, what could happen is I fail to break them and then they turn around and hit me and do damage. Why would I risk that? So instead, let's just skip charges and dance around them some more. You're coming for my cannon. 1 hit, that's all I need. Don't roll a 6. Dead. There you go. 1 very brave goblin there. They turn around here. That's fine, because I can now do this. That lets me get even more damage into them before I charge, and it stalls out the morale meter here. Great. I don't even have to engage in combat. When you reach this point, so there's still an active enemy unit on the field. However, when this turn comes to an end, there'll be no further turns, because the enemy is routing this turn. It represents you having done such catastrophic damage to the enemy force that they've just given up. They don't want to fight anymore. So you can leverage that to your advantage. I know I'm not going to take any fights, so don't worry about it. I lost 2. I don't get any back, so I'm staying down at low numbers, which is unfortunate. But we did get enough experience on my light cavalry and cannon to level. Let's see what leveling looks like. level up, you get these options here. Extra range, which is cool for your guns. Extra discipline, which is terrible because the only reason you do discipline is if you're losing combat. You don't want to be playing the game in such a way, so almost never useful. Or size, so 3 more of them. That's pretty fantastic in terms of damage output. So I think I'll just take it out of hand. It's really, really good. I'll take that and then immediately increase the size of the unit. Yep. And then the cannon's leveled. Okay, some very interesting choices here. Reroll 1, so when we roll our dice, we get a result of 1, 2, or 3. If you roll a 1, taking veteran accuracy allows you to roll again to try and get a better result. You might get a 1 again, or you might get 2 and 3 and improve your roll. Looter, plus 5 gold. Whenever you press the gold button, you get 5 more, which is great. And veteran crew, plus 1 bonus hit. So when you roll that dice to determine your hit, so you get 1, 2, or 3, plus 1. Now, I'm going to take one of the damage dealing ones because the cannon is one of my primary damage dealers here. I need to do some serious work. So between accuracy and crew, I'll just let you know mathematically, the plus 1 to hit is just better. You, on average, get more damage out of this than this. So take that first, and you can come back and pick that up later. Your full HP. Do I need to heal the swordsman? Not really. They're still perfectly good at that size, so I mean, I could take it, but they're not. I think I'll take the gold. I can get away with it. Generate more cash for when I go to the first shop. So this has happened. We have a unit now. I'm going to compress them. The reason being is that, yes, I lose a couple attacks in close combat, but it makes it easier for me to maneuver and wheel around, and it looks a bit nicer. So do we really care? You could go max damage. It makes you very easy to flank, and it's kind of hard to slip by units. So as a kiting skirmishing unit, I would prefer to have them oriented like that at the cost of some melee attacks. Their melee is not really what we're using them for, so fair enough. If we are using the melee, it's against squishy backline archer stuff, so we can take them on no problem. Again, there'll probably be an archer back here somewhere, so let's just get you on in case it's there, and you can stand there to shoot them in case they're there. They're in the woods, okay, so my cannon and the archer's about to have a long exchange. Might as well go for it. This is going to take a while. Now I get plus 1. However, you notice that I just got 2. That's because the archers are in cover. That little symbol gives it away there. So they get -1 to hit for when you're dealing like random damage, stuff like this. So +1, -1 gets counteracted. You just get your dice roll as normal. We'll have you start rocketing your way over here to hopefully go catch them later. I can't reach anything to shoot this turn. We're going to get shot. The reason I was happy to put myself here is because it's incredibly difficult for the enemy to hit me. So it's long, they're skill 3, so it's 4+ to hit. It's long range, so it's 5+ to hit. And because I'm a cannon, I benefit from the protected crew ability. Unit counts as being in cover, -1 ranged attack against hit. So minus another one, it's 6s to hit. They only hit you on the roll of a 6, so there are 9 attacks there, every 1 missed. In a damage output race, I'll eventually just win this and kill them. I'll put the swordsman up here to kind of distract these swordsmen, make sure they don't go after my cannon. No charges this turn. Me again, they've reached me there, but I don't care because, again, I might as well just shoot this while I can. If you can do any shooting first, you're better off hitting enemy range stuff as fast as possible because you reduce their damage output, thereby crippling the amount of damage they can do to you. So whoever gets to shoot first, they keep rolling 6s annoyingly and saving their guys. They're going to hit this turn, but I'm defense 5 because I'm tough as nails. It's a cannon, it's not exactly weak, is it? So let's get you around the side here to try and draw their ire a bit. I'll have you come barreling over here to engage those pesky. So the other thing you can use X and C to use your melee ranges here. If you hold the shift key, you can see the range of your kind of long range stuff. So the cannon has amazing range, you can hit basically anything. But my little pistols here can only get to here, so we're not going to be able to reach those. There's no way we're going to reach the archers this turn to shoot them, I'm afraid. We're just going to have to suck up kind of getting up there and maybe reaching them later. That's as far as I get. Next turn I can get onto them. I can't charge them either. The older shift key and use C, inversely, you can see the enemy range. So this is what they can see. They're blocked a bit there by their own. They can see the cannon. I'm happy for them to try and fail and shooting into that all they want. Okay, no charges. They've locked onto you, which is fantastic. You can basically ignore that. And again, let's hit these before they can bother me. 1, 2, 3 less archers. We're halfway there already. And get 1 hit again, dealing a wound. Now, we've taken 1 wound, but that's not a particular problem for us. I'll explain why momentarily. get up here, let's shoot them, and if they're still alive, fine, I can then charge them. They're benefiting from cover, so it's going to be a bit tough to get through them. Yeah, we are going to charge and kill them. And then you just continue to stall this unit while my other things kill stuff. Move to there-ish. So if they do round on you, I can turn around and save the cannon, but for now I think we'll be okay. I charge that. Here we go. Wee smack. So they only get the other benefit to when you're rear charging, they can't attack you at all. When you're flank charging, they get to attack you with the one guy who's in base contact on the side, so they'll get one attack, but I have 2 wounds each, so they literally can't hurt me no matter what they do. You are safe, so go ahead and start bombarding the swordsmen. 1+1, because they're not in cover, I'm benefiting from my +1 now, so I got 2 despite rolling a 1. You kind of get out of the way again, keep stalling them. So let's give a... Oh, we hit terribly. Okay, they just all died. I was about to say, surely we can give 3 archers a really good seeing too. Just about. No charges this turn. They're trying and failing to reach me here. Now, unfortunately, we did touch the woods in the charge, so a bunch of different effects that terrain has, different terrain. One of them is that it will halve your movement, so if you see me moving forward here, it's 0.2 every time. So it's going to slow me down enough that I can't get to short range. Never mind, we can continue blasting them. Bang, 3+1, 4, max damage, killing 4 of them, ouch. And Wild Eye allow you to charge these swordsmen, just give you for free at range. You'd think the swordsman unit would start to think maybe this isn't going well, but nope, they're still in it. And again. Ow, ow. One of you come up here and short range shoot them. Full barrage in the back. Lovely, yeah. So having the 3 extra guys means you get 6 extra shots every time. It's pretty devastating. And just skip the rest of the phase because there's nothing to fight. Quirky little aspect to the game there. If you still have an active unit, you have to use it before it ends. Okay, so we took a wound on our cannon. However, I was unconcerned because with single entities like cannons or artillery or monsters, you always heal a minimum of 1 wound at the end of each battle for free. So in effect, if you only take 1 wound, you've really taken 0 wounds, so you're not that concerned. So Lysander and his swordsman have leveled. Let's see what we get. Right, you can get extra skill, extra attacks, or discipline. Again, don't take discipline, it's terrible. So skill or attacks. Skill 4 is probably fine for now. We'll encounter a lot of skill 3 stuff. Determining whether or not it's greater offensive output between upgrading your skill or upgrading your attacks depends on your skill relative to the enemy skill. If the extra skill would make a difference and that you would be a higher skill than the enemy, so in this case going from 4 to 5 means if I was fighting enemy skill 4 stuff, I could hit them on 3+. That is on average a better damage increase than the extra attack. But for now I think I'll go with the attack and increase skill later, because early in the campaign you'll encounter a lot of weaker skill 3 stuff. So you're skill 3, so I'll bump you up to skill 4. And then take gold on everyone because we're doing fine. 4 seasons, so we have plenty of gold as we go into our first armory, so we can buy things. Careful, I very nearly clicked on the wrong one there. Remember, we want to go up here. That was almost devastating. So that armory. Here's our choices, so you get units and you get upgrades. So in terms of the best, the mortar's good and the unit's good. I can't get both, so I'd probably go with the unit. It's more versatile, it doesn't get stuck there. Having too much artillery parked at the back might be a bit of a liability. So it's a retinue, which means that our character will move from his current swordsman unit to there, which I think is excellent because I can buy that and I can buy him pistols, so he can serve as another ranged skirmisher, which I think is good. So we have a second one of these. Can't take any units, so let's buy some upgrades. Well, I'll immediately buy Captain Lysander a brace of pistols, so he can shoot alongside his newfound light cav. As for other upgrades, the banner of swiftness for the light cav, so they can't be shot, is great. Make it so that they move even faster. The banner of mist, so they're harder to hit, is good. Leaving me with 84, and then for my last point, I could get upgrades on the swordsman, but I'm really not going to use them too much offensively. They're more a distraction and holding unit. So let's think about the Imperial Cannon instead. We can buy the explosive shell, -1 target to damage saves. At power 8 with -1 to damage saves, everything in the game is wounding at 6+. Currently, if we were to shoot at anything that's defense 6 or higher, which is usually the purview of the big monsters, they could save on 5, which is rather annoying because I'd rather just be shooting through them. So let's just increase the damage output and turn it into an absolute shredder. Perfect. Okay. That's our army there. So I'm happy to leave you across because I might charge with the captain, and it's not much of a difference between being one or like pressed in. So you might be more offensively oriented. I don't really care. You're kind of fine as you are, and then you're fine as you are. Perfect. Okay. So we have a light cav build, which is pretty usually when you want to go with your best option, quote unquote, the fast cav that can engage the enemy freely and never be caught with ranged options is pretty good. So you're on the flanks. We'll put the cavalry on the flanks. You as far back as possible so you can get some shots, and you there to sort of shadow and protect it. Okay, they have... I was going to say they have no range stuff now. There's an annoying unit of short bows there. We need to deal with that quickly. I can probably slip by these trolls. They've marched forward, so I can get to there and then charge them, kill them in a turn. I have to fight them head on and take some damage, heal later, but I think it's worth it. If I'm going to do that, I might as well do it now. I can get past them and shoot them. This is kind of 6 and 2 3s. Actually, their range is so bad, if I hold here for a moment, I might be able to lure them in closer, which is convenient. So let's not shoot the trolls, they're not a priority. Let's shoot the wolf riders, because they're not going to reach me for a bit. So these fast goblin equivalent of cavalry, it's goblin on wolves, but it's cavalry nonetheless. We'll start chipping away at them. Now cannons are particularly effective against the cavalry because while they do in fact have 2 wounds, the cannon has the lethal shots ability, so 2 times wounds against multi-wounds targets. So any hit I get instantly kills 2 of them, so it's fantastic at dealing with stuff like this. They come barreling forward, which is rather annoying. I need to somehow put a stop to that. So what I'll do is I'll use you first, kind of get you up and in the way. Yeah, they're delaying the units I care about. Let's pass to force them to move. Right, so they reached my cannon immediately, which is, I knew they would. There's nothing I can do about it. So what I can do... Can I get you far enough to... No, I don't quite have the movement to escape this annoying wolf unit. So they'll be in my side arc there. I could potentially side charge them, so it depends who went first, which was them. So they'll get to charge first, which is annoying for me because they'll intercept me before I can stop them. So I need to think about how I want to do this. I could potentially move up here, shoot this unit, and then flee. Keep myself in the game. So do this, get as close as I can. Let them charge me and then flee my unit so they can't catch me. So I can shoot them, do as much damage as possible before they blow on through and be a nuisance about it. 4+ to hit is not bad. Do you want to use... Oh, it doesn't matter, let's just use all my guns. Yeah, that's all but 1 with 1 wound, and then my captain has the last shot I hopefully need to get him. 3+ to hit because of his high skill. 1 hit's all I need, come on. Ah, I rolled a 6 blast, he's still alive. Okay, that swordsman unit's getting charged. What will happen now is that unit will charge me. I'm going to opt to run away, and I don't think it'll put me off the board. I think I'm safe. They've moved forward far enough to reach me, which is annoying, but they hit on 6s because of my banner of mist. Still do manage to lose 1, never mind. Okay, and now you can go, you can zip beyond. I can't get around here to flank it into the side, I'm afraid, so we'll go eliminate this pesky arch unit now while I have the chance. Get to there and just hit them. I can shoot them as well to soften them up. They're charging me here. I'm going to flee because I could take them on. Wolf Riders are what? They'll be power 4 against my defense 3. I'll be skill, equal skill. It's pretty much a push. The captain would mean I win on average, but it's a lot of damage to take for no reason, so let's just get away from them. You're charging me there, that's fine. The swordsman can defeat a 1 wounded Wolf Rider, no problem. And then you can kill that for me. Get away. You've deployed in just about the most annoying position possible. I can't shoot anything with my cannon now. You idiot. Okay, let's try and rally this unit. They rally, great. I can't do anything but flee again. That was the worst. He could have been over here and moved in another spot. It would have been a lot better for me. I guess I should just start repositioning you and get you to safety then. You're not going to be able to shoot anything effectively, are you? I hold shift and hold the X key. Yeah, that's terrible, so let's just move away. Run. That way. I'm going to have to flee that unit and they're going to run away. That's really bad. Can you defeat a Wolf Rider? No, it's still alive. That's hilarious. But it means you can't really be charged by anything because this is all front arc. Here, yeah, you splatter a bunch of shortbow goblins. Take another casualty. How annoying. They break, as you would expect. Oh, they are inside. Oh, that's unfortunate. This is going to be really bad for the swordsman. Just in flank. Okay, you can't do anything here. You're not going to charge them, so just skip. Hang on. I can't. I want to flee this unit, but I don't know if it's going to let me. Yeah, I can. Okay, I flee. I'm going to flee because it just means I don't take a shitload of damage for no reason. I can just get off the field without taking any casualties. And ignore those. I need you to come over here and help me with this stuff. You're dead as a door now, but never mind. Oh, they keep moving into ideal positions. It's really annoying. So this unit is super dead. So I want to move you into such a position that you can escape all of this, ideally. So that's their cone there. So if I put you about here, they won't be able to see you, and they won't be able to see you. So you're kind of safe there. They fail to rally because they're just short bows. Let's ignore the big stupid goblin block and start. I guess I could shoot it while I move by to do a bit of free damage. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, why not? These are more important, however. So you can just kite around these while doing. Please kill that wolf rider at least before you go. Okay, now it's dead. Great. This is going to hurt, however. You got flanked by the trolls. Yeah, they do nasty damage. This unit runs, not surprising. You're going to get charged again now and killed, I'm afraid. I can't stop it. Poor swordsman. There are no other charges I desire. I have to go first, which is terrible news for me, because I can't wait for this goblin wolf rider to move. So I'm just going to stand my ground, do as much damage I can. They're going to turn to face me here, so let's do max DPS to the wolf rider unit while I can. Decent shot. They don't roll any 6s, which is good. That's most of that unit. They turn and face there. It's kind of predictable. What I could do if I'm a bit clever, I can have you come down here and shoot them as much as you can. Short range, great. Ah, you rolled terribly. I was really hoping you could. Okay, well, I can allow one wolf rider to charge my. Yeah, I was going to say I can allow one wolf rider to charge that, then move those into it as well. That's annoying. Didn't expect them to do that, honestly. He breaks and runs. Yes, yes. That cannon is now stuck because I thought I could get away with it, but no. Right, I can intercept him at least, but you're going to be charged by that annoying goblin mob regardless. So what I should probably do is charge this one in the back while I have the chance, break them, because I have terrible discipline, they can't hit me. They'll run off the field. You can probably kill the wolf rider in combat before being overwhelmed by the goblin mob, and it's just like Cav and the goblin mob which will win. So I'm hoping you can defeat that for me. Try and rally him. No, he's going to run off. Fair enough. There he goes. Right, I need you to break these trolls. You hit a single time and did no damage. Okay. They still run though because they're cowardly. Off they go. Can you kill the wolf rider? No, it survives. Okay. Slight hassle. We don't lose by much. But so when artillery pieces lose combat, they don't run because they can't move. They just die on the spot. No charges, thank you. They're forced to go first, which makes sense because they've got more units than me now. What I'd love to do is turn, shoot, kill the wolf rider. In fact, let's do this. Let's get to safety away from the goblin mob. Do a single wound to that, please. Get dead, and then I can just kite this for free and win. We're absolutely not charging 20 goblins head on. Shoot them, please. And they're routing this turn, so we can just hit the skip button now. No need to position around. So we would eventually win by just running around this and shooting it to death. A bit messy, but we can heal up effectively. So the ones that matter are like Cav are fine. I'm going to heal that. I was tempted to leave it because a cannon is just as effective on 1 wounded as it is 5, but that's a bit. If I get a stray shot, I can just kill it, which is terrible. So you're fine to take gold, and then 3 swordsmen isn't enough, so you can have a better unit. Good. Okay. So do you want to stretch this out now? Maybe, because I might be tempted to use it more. With 6, that's a good combat orientation. So like that, we're going to have an elite battle. against a fellow Empire captain, von Platen. Okay, they're going first, which is a bit of... Well, I guess it's okay, I can see where they move. They might have their own cannon or something in the back, so I'll have you zip up here, you zip over there. You sort of there-ish, nice and far back, so you can bombard stuff and you're there to distract. Right, so they have arranged it, but it's handgunners. That's the threat that I want to shoot my cannon into. Shemek can barely reach it. I'll just have you stall for a turn. 6 is the hit because of our banner of mist is great. Okay, well, if they're going to do that, let's just... This can only target these 2 blocks, which is... I'd much rather it target any of these, but I can't reach. So I can obviously get up there to hit them. No way I'm going to get a flank charge here, so I'm just going to suck it up and take the... I think I could do a short range shot instead. It would increase my damage output nicely. Probably not at this distance, I'm afraid. Oh, it is 4+. Hey, we got away with it. Some nice damage before we go in. Yeah, reduce their attacks. I'll probably lose 1 to the charge here, but fine. So a little trick here. I moved into their charge radius, but I'm happy to do so because the enemy will never charge with a dedicated ranged unit. Just ignore the fact they can charge me, so you're safe to step into these blue zones. Otherwise, I'd like to see you move first so I can dance around you with these cavs. So, I mean, I'm never going to get... I can't get the shot I want because this terrain... You can see in terrain, but not beyond it. So if you have a look at what my artillery piece here can see, over there through that gap, here to here to here, and then into the terrain, but get stuck there. So obviously they're protected by the little wood. If I waited, maybe they would move to there and I could shoot them, but I need this to be the last thing I move, so never mind, let's just start shooting von Platen. Swordsman. Good, now they move. It was crucial I see them move because I need to dance around them with this unit by doing this. As I know I'm going to be running by them, let's stop when I get into short range. Take my short range shot. Do no damage, great, and then the pistols from our captain. This is a wound. Good start, and then we can get beyond them here. Turn 2, okay. So, do I want to shoot them or do I want to engage them in combat? What's the strength of a handgun? Power 4, so they're actually weaker in combat than they are at shooting me, so I might as well just hit them in the fight. There's no other charges, thank you. They're going to start chunneling towards me. Fine, I'll just take the opportunity to... Oh, do you think I can reach that annoying... Let's have a look if I can see and hit that. I can see and hit their cavalry. Fantastic. Let's start doing some nice damage. 3+1. Great. Maximum. 6 wounds worth instantly. Perfect target for this. So they're just stalling around. I might flank the unit of halberds with my swordsman. I think it's worth it. So I can draw a line of sight and I'm majority in that flank. So... And they can't be interrupted, so yeah, let's put a stop to them. Menacing my poor artillery piece, and then you can hear move, shoot, and go around. Should be able to start doing some nice damage here. And then the pistol from the character as well. 1 extra hit. Roll to 3. Get you around the side here. I could charge them where I so inclined, if I was a bit more... I could put myself into the side now, so they get 2 attacks. They might kill a guy, but I think it's better to break them and get rid of them now than stalling any longer. Here we go. I suspect I'll win this. Yeah, the injured one does die. I saw it coming. They stay on the field, but don't worry about 3 handgunners. Okay, let's have you kill this. And you kill this. Yes, please. They're going to stay there, so I'm extremely hopeful that I break this unit, because if I don't, they're going to get to hit me in the back. So I'll use his Inspire Valor ability this turn to improve my combat resolution, increase the odds of these running. They keep running, so they'll flee the field. Excellent. So you can come over here and potentially rear charge this unit if we have to. Doing some nice range damage. Cannon has nothing to shoot because there's only 1 valid target. Well, I guess you can, out of petty malice, shoot at the handgunners. I can't reach that unit and everything else is engaged in combat. It's a 4 attacks on Lysander now, just 2 wounds, and the accompanying unit. Another 2. They only hit me once, so I can't lose 1. At worst, I take a wound. We lose by a whole lot. Off they go. Are they fast enough to run off the field? No, they're still there. Right, my swordsman. I do hope I win this. 2 wounds. Now the halberdiers are only power 3. However, you notice my save is reduced to 4+, because unlike my swords and shields here, which give me bonus power on the charge, they instead have the ability to reduce their target save to 4+, and never better than 4+. So my defense is better. I should be saving on 3+, but halberdiers counter that. So nope, you get 4s. Live with it. So it would have made no difference here. 5 and 2 doesn't change anything. They break, which is fantastic news for me. The reason why that's great is because I can flee this unit rather than having to recharge with those. Don't care about anything else. Gives me a turn to do more shooting and keep hammering them. They've rallied, but I'm not immediately concerned about those. I'd rather do more damage to this while I can. 3 less, keep going. They've also rallied, so I need to deal with those as well. I can probably ignore them for a turn though, so they can charge me again, they'll flee again, I'll get another round of shooting. I would love for this unit to be the one to charge them in the back. The reason being is that the 2 characters will enter a duel, which will prevent any of my other units from having to sustain unnecessary damage. So this turn, what I'll do is I'll have you run over here, take a pot shot at those while I run by. There's a knight with 1 wound left, I'd love for you to kill him. 2 hits from Lysander, gets him, fantastic. And then you can come over here and deal with this. They can't move because they rallied this turn, so we can ignore them for now. Let's instead put you here. They'll then turn around and I can just run away, no problem. Good, we can almost strip the unit. You turn and run. Flee again. Yep, we don't care about that, that's fine. They're going to turn here, we absolutely do not care because we're just going to keep hammering you. Point blank. I think you can manage more than 1 at point blank, surely it'd be not too difficult to get some shots in. And they've gifted us a perfect rear charge here, they can't stop. Short range, yep. Take the shot while you can. Now the reason I wanted to put the unit with my character into them is because when you engage enemy units from the rear, ordinarily they don't get to attack you. The exception is characters, who for whatever reason get to fight backwards. So by putting my character into their character, they'll enter a duel, spares my unit from taking any damage. And here we'll just continue the kite job. Here and then turn around. Can't reach you. And I thought I could get into short range by doing that. Let's see if I can just inch further forward and see. No, it's still 5+, that's annoying. But can you see the blue bit? I think it's still safe there. Just. There's 4+, there we go. But if I did mess it up, I can just flee anyway, so don't worry about it. Pretty sure we're safe there. Yes, we are. We're going to try charging my cannon. Oh, they can't even see it. I needn't even bother engaging them in melee, I can just keep shooting them. You're coming over here to threaten me, that's funny. Cannon fire, they're in cover now, so -1. They're still trying to hit my cannon, that's ridiculous. Their captain has a single wound left. They're outing this turn, so just skip. Just going to hammer spacebar to skip, it doesn't matter what happens. Anything else is just a waste of time. Some levels, which is great. Cannon's maxed. You're healthy, so you've leveled. Extra skill, that's nice, because every time I take a shot, it increases the odds of me hitting with my pistol, so that's great. Nice upgrade. These light cav leveled. I guess I'll take the range for that. Replenishment's nice, but I'm not taking too many casualties, and the gold will be... They're a damage dealer unit, they're actually quite precious, so I'm going to go with their... It increases their short range, effectively, so I can do more damage. And the cannon leveled. Now we'll take the reroll ones. So there you go, +1 on hits and reroll ones. You've got fantastic damage output now, very consistent, which is the key. So gold. You're fine as a distraction unit, that's okay. Do I want the extra 2 guys or do I want a bit of cash? I like the 2 guys, they're pretty useful. So yeah, extra 100% for an elite is 138. Didn't move it that much. We have a random event we have to go through. I can't avoid it no matter what I do there, I'm afraid. Interesting. An Abyssal Sorcerer on Manticore. So if you take that, you lose... It's fine, it's quite cheap for what you get, but it's not a great unit. Like, the Sorcerer is okay, but there are other things, and the real hassle is that whenever you buy units, it exponentially increases the cost of other units later, so I'm just going to leave it. I can buy slightly better. If it was a melee character on a flying unit like a Manticore, I would take it. This isn't really good enough. What I'd want is a flying unit to do the job that my light cav are effectively being forced to do right now, which is charge those irritating back archers and handgunners and things. A flying unit would be so fast it can get into their rear, or rather their flank, instead of having to take the front charge. So, but with a sorcerer, she really doesn't contribute anything in combat. We'd be entirely reliant on the Manticore, which is slightly inconsistent, so we'll leave it. Instead, take this battle before the last shop against Orc Raiders. Pretty gentle to deal with Orcs. Might just be the only hassle is a Goblin unit shooting us or something, but I think we'll be okay. Get out of the blasted woods. You can stay in the woods because you just don't really care about that. Really, it's not a detriment for you. Kind of squeak around there. I can't really deploy there. I'm too wide to avoid the terrain, so I'll get slowed down a lot. It's a bit of a hassle. So I think this side is the best I can do. They do not have any irritating range stuff, so we'll melee. I'm going first, that's fine. They'll come barreling forward. I'd love for the cannon to shoot those, but I think yeah, the annoying swordsmen are actually in the way of that right now. So if I move you further forward, just sort of get you out of the way of my own unit. You can't be reached by anything this round, so that's good. Can I now hit them? Maybe? It's kind of hard to tell. I'd definitely hit them if I just wait for them to move forward, so let's just stall for a bit and use this instead. Maybe I'll be lucky and they'll move them for me. You just start working over these. No reason not to. I don't think you'll be reached by anything here. Just get you close enough to be short range. Not yet. There we go. The brutes are their heavy infantry, so it'll be nice to kill those off. And the character. Go on, Lysander. Hit one in the head. Defense 5, they've got pretty tough armor to be fair. Good, they've moved forward. That makes it quite easy to give them a blasting. 2 dead instantly. We'll start. They're also inching forward. We don't really care. Because they've moved forward, it's trivial for me to get around them. So before I do that, stop here. Shoot, and then move. Another 2. Get here and then turn and face. We are safe. Very good. We don't care about what you're doing for now. There are no charges. I'd much rather just shoot the Bull Riders to death. Me first. Okay, well, let's kill them. Oh, blast. Can I not? Come on. Surely that's visible there. Oh, it was. So I'm doing this because there. Surely that can see them. Oh, how much of the unit do I have to be through in order to count as being seen? That's outrageous. No, I don't think this is going to give it to me, is it? No matter what I do. No, okay, we'll have to suck it up. You'd swear blind that was a valid shot. And you'd be wrong, apparently. Okay. Suck it, we'll have to go for something else. Let's start. You're better off targeting individual units and killing them quickly, because then it gives you a unit advantage, which makes out-positioning the enemy easier. So pick one and just nail them. So let's get rid of these brutes. So we rolled a 1, but we get to re-roll into another 1. Great. Before they come, slight hassle because they're going to march forward. I need to shoot this and then move away from that Orc Warrior. So let's do this first. Pretty accuracy of some devastating hits, not bad. And then we're going to turn. Because I'm going to turn, I might as well turn and then shoot and then move. I'm almost gone. And then move down here to get away from that impending Orc Warrior unit coming at us. Good, now that they've moved I can get around them easily. You have to wait for them to do that, otherwise if you moved first, they would just move and counter you. Not a single damage. Okay, next turn. And they've reached my swordsman there. I don't really care, we're just going to move backwards a bit. Start moving this way so you lure them away from the cannon somewhat. They couldn't reach us, which I didn't think they would, which is good. No charges, thank you. Me first. Okay. If I activated this, can I now hit the ball riders? Nope. Okay, let's instead try and finish off the brutes. 3+1 is great. Don't roll 666 and the unit's gone. They're now forced to do this because they haven't got enough units to delay it anymore. So one less. One more turn should be good enough. Still after my swordsman? I think not. We'll start coming this way. That wood might get in our way a bit here, but never mind. We're never ever going to catch this unit. Can I turn and still have enough movement to escape this way? Not this turn. So what I'll do is I'll move to here, then turn, and then next turn. So a little trick. In terms of movement, turning around 180 costs you exactly half of your movement. So 16 to 8. So you can use it. So when I got to here, I got 8. Well, can I escape now with 8? Not really, no. So it's, well, we'll just miss it because we're too close to them. Actually, that's okay. But there's no need to be so pedantic. We can just get to here, turn, and then next turn we'll easily be able to just rocket over them because we don't have to use half of our movement to turn around. Great shot there, Lysander. Good work. No charging of any kind. Please finish off this ball rider out. It's getting silly how many turns it's been alive. Hooray! Okay, still after you. Well, let's just not be there. So when you're retreating from the enemy, you're better off just inching away because the AI will only ever move in such a way that it just gets into range. So if I used all of my movement and rocketed away, they would use all of their movement and chase after me, and you'd quickly back yourself into a corner. If you inch turn by turn, however, you can buy like 10 turns worth of this scooting around stuff, which is far more effective. 2. And Lysander's pistols miss again. Excellent work as always, Lysander. You're a whiz with this ranged combat stuff. You might as well just start reducing the number of warriors here. And 5. We've basically over the difficulty hump now. There's no way they're going to catch us. Interesting. Well, I can easily put a stop to that. Around the terrain there. Don't know if I'll be able to get to short range. I'm intentionally trying to avoid these annoying woods because they halve my movement for just touching them. If I go to about there, no, hit revert. That's definitely safe now. Get to about there. I'm not in short range. I am in short range, fantastic. Ah, because I took the extra +5 range, so it's got me to short range where I otherwise wouldn't be. They're going to get rear charged and executed in a moment, so don't worry about those. So instead you can use your time to shoot these. And turn, shoot, move. Oh, because Lysander finally got one. No, he got a hit, but not an actual kill. We're working on it. It's not what he's really known for. Did all that practice with the sword, all those hundreds of hours in the training yard, and then I hand him 2 pistols and say, you know, get to work. You know, real pretty with all the sword work, but that's not what the job requires. They're routing this turn, so just hammer the spacebar, don't care about any of this. They can't attack backwards, so I don't risk any damage here, so even if they survive, which they do not, they're perfectly fine. Victory achieved. More levels. No injury sustained. Lysander leveled again. Interesting. So, extra wounds. Wounds on characters are rather redundant because the only reason they would come up is every single wound in his unit from his light cav were dead. So you'd have to lose the entire unit before wounds start coming up on him. The exception, however, is when duels happen. So if 2 characters get into a fight, they'll enter a one-on-one battle in which their individual stat lines do matter. Quite niche, and he's a melee combat, so he should be fine if I charge him into anything with these extra attacks. So extra attacks is nice, but I'm going to take Recruiter. When you purchase new units, they immediately get a level. The game exponentially rewards levels on your units. It massively increases their combat effectiveness, so points in Recruiter are almost always a good idea. They're great damage increases or effectiveness increases for new units. And then you are almost taking gold every turn because that's all you're really good for. I don't use it in combat other than distracting things. So combat score is nice if you get flanks or break things, but we should be okay. And replenishment is hardly replenishing anyway, so just take more gold. That's what you're around for. Health-wise, I think I'm perfectly fine, so all the cash in the world, please. Which is well timed because we're just about to go into another armory. Here are our units. We get a mount for our character, which I think is well timed, and it's cheap. It's the cheaper one. I think that's perfect, so I can use him as my dedicated get to the enemy's back and start doing some nasty damage. Having a flying unit like this is crucial for being effective. Gold, wounds or skill. Skill 5 on this is nice because it's got a low number of attacks, so I'd really like Iron Feather here to actually hit things. And then I'll increase its attacks next when I have the chance. 197. Can't afford an extra unit, which is okay. I'll afford some upgrades. I'm immediately going to buy Plate Barding for Iron Feather because the Griffin starts at Defense 5, which is okay, but going from Defense 5 to Defense 6 is a fantastic increase because all of the Power 3 stuff, so all of that small arms, arrows and gunfire that will be shooting at you, instead only gets to wound you on a 2+ rather than a 3+. So it's the inverse of when power's high. When defense is 3 or more higher than power, your successful save on anything other than a 1, you get a 2-up save, so very, very resilient. So there's no negative to it, there's no minus movement, so yeah, just 35 for a huge defense increase. Yes, please. I'll consider upgrading Lysander's melee options now because it's going to be a lot more relevant. Before I look at that, let's do some other things. Banner of Swiftness on the cavalry is great for their movement, and Banner of Myth so they don't get shot. Yes, please. I don't care about these particularly much, sorry swordsman, but you're not a priority. Curse Standard on you is pretty nice, so if I do engage them into combat, I can use Curse Standard and have them go nuts on a turn, so flank an enemy and just break them super hard. Spend 50 on that, and then up here for Lysander I can upgrade his weapons. An extra attack, which is cool. A great weapon, which is kind of nice, so if we have a look at him, here's a hand weapon and shield, so a permanent +1 defense, and then +1 power and a charge, so he'll become power 4 base to 5. If I give him the great weapon, he will lose the defense and go down to 3, which is okay in most instances because we're relying on the Griffin's defense of 6, so we don't care. Again, the exception is when we're in duels, but if you lose a character to a duel and he loses all their wounds, they return with full wounds at the end of the fight anyway. You never have to replenish them, so it's never really worth it. So I'm going to go with the great weapon. He becomes power 5 permanently and 6 on the charge. What we're hoping for is when I recharge or charge these backline units, they'll probably be defense 3. So by going up to power 6, I can kill them and all but their save of a 6+, so it helps our Alpha Strike mentality of getting in there and doing some max damage while we can. That's great for you, and we'll take the Curse Standard on the Light Cav in case I want to use them in melee and smash through something as effectively as possible. Is that you? Yes, you're the Curse Standard ones. Because you have a Curse Standard, I'm going to stretch you out in case I want to charge something. Otherwise, we're okay with this. We have our new Fancy Griffin. Show that off in this battle. It's another Goblin War Party, killing a lot of goblins and orcs, it seems. A bit of an infestation. They're going first. That's not too much fuss, I suppose. They'll have, from the picture, they'll have a bunch of annoying goblin swarms again, so if you can just stand there and retreat so you can draw some attention for me. Well, I'm going to put the Griffin behind the building. The reason because it's a flying unit, which means it doesn't care about being stuck behind things. It can just fly straight over them. Stand on the flank. Yeah, it's the same thing again. So Goblin Wolf Riders, Goblin Wolf Riders, Goblin Wolf Riders, Trolls and a block. I don't particularly care about that. You failed to reach me. They'll come forward. I'd like to flank them with this, so let's go ahead and cripple that unit. 2+1. I prefer 3, but we'll take it. Start reducing their numbers now. They're moving the worthless units around to kind of annoy me. They'll come barreling forward. I can hit them in the side. Can't reach them to shoot them, which is annoying. There's very little point in targeting trolls with small shooting. That's because of their regeneration ability, so I'll show you that in a moment. So what I'll do instead, I'm just going to put you forward with the idea that I intend to flee them. That'll give me another round of shooting with this, which is good. Maybe I can wipe them out. Or they come, so you'll charge you, you'll flee, they'll move forward awkwardly, hit them again. I need to wait for this to move so I can shoot and out-position it. I don't think I'm going to be able to. I could take them head on and win with my Curse Standard, but it's a bit unfortunate. I'll take some nasty damage. And I need to wait for these to move so I can outflank them with the Griffin. So I'll have to use this. So the reason it's a hassle is because they regenerate, so I'll show that off. So 5 hits, dealing 1 wound. Hooray, I've done a wound. However, because these regenerate, They move that unit forward. Can I get around them, do you think? No, even with my banner, it's a bit of a hassle, so we'll have to shoot them and move backwards instead, which I think is fine. I can't quite get into short range and then back off again, it's a bit greedy, so I have to take a long range shot. Still pretty devastating with the low amount of health they have, although because I've now killed a couple of them, maybe I can escape. Reduce their arc a little bit. Not quite, I'm just shy. They can actually see me there. That's unfortunate. Can I do any better if I just move forward and then twist and move? Nope. Nope. Not there. No, I'm not going to get away with this. I am the barest. I am 0.1 of an inch shy, I think. No, I got it. I've done it. Haha, I'm free. Oh, they come. Great. That's trivial for my Griffin to counteract now, so I'll just move you to here. Put a stop to those annoying Wolf Riders by flanking them. Yeah, take your shot. Well, it's not going to make any difference into these because we're just going to break them anyway, so you might as well try shooting into the trolls. If he happens to hit twice and do both wounds, great. So because they have regeneration, what's going to end up happening is that wound that's on them, they recover all missing wounds at the end of the turn, so they're magically going to get it back and not care. You're charging that, that's fine, because I can flee you away and have another cannon volley. They're charging me because it's a flank, I can intercept them and hold them in place, and you're going to shoot them again. This is all okay. They even stay on the field, which is nice. Annoyingly, they can see me there, so I'm going to have to do something like that. That's dreadful. They moved up close enough such that I can't escape. When the AI does this, you can't move the unit. I'm completely trapped. So yeah, just stand there point blank and shoot them, I guess, is your only recourse. Try and see if you can kill one. Nope, 2 wounds isn't good enough. And now you're stuck. I can't move. Well, I'm lucky. So if I can break this one, I can save them by rear charging the trolls with this unit. I presume I'll be able to see them, which is good. Just shoot those and kill them, please. 1, please don't be a 1. 3, excellent. You can kill them all if they don't roll double 6. Got them, perfect. 2 volleys should be more than enough to kill off one of those units. You're in a bit of trouble here. Can I squeeze out of here and escape, do you think? No, that terrain's going to stop me. So I'll be best off just turning and shooting and see if I can wipe them out. Ball hit roll, probably not. There's 1 left, fine. I can engage 1 in combat without too much worry. And you rally. No, you're going to run off the field, never mind. Do I want to use this now? Yes, because I really don't want to be stuck here. I need this free so I can save my light cav. So increase your resolution to break them in 1 turn. Here we go. Captain Icelander versus Savage Ambushers. His better skills are hits on 3s, 3 hits. Power 6 because I bought the upgrade, so there's a bunch of wounds. And then Iron Feather hits twice, 2 more. Good, that should be more than enough to break some irritating riders. Can't roll a 0 on 2 dice, I'm afraid, so we definitely got them. I was worried for a moment because the Goblin mob could have come down here and intercepted me, so I couldn't move, but I can just do this. I'm safe. Yeah, you might as well counter charge, it's going to be hilarious, but go for it. No, don't charge there, that'd be a bad idea. I'll save your curse standard because mathematically he dies anyway, so you can do a bit of maths in here. So 2 attacks each, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then we benefit from, you get 1 for guys in the back rather than your full, so 13. We have equal skills, so we hit on 4 plus at 50%, so 6.5 hits on average, and we'll be power 4 on the charge with our hand weapons. Yes, power plus 1, so better power to defense than our 5 up saves against 6.5. They take like 4.33 wounds or something. It'll be 4 point something dead. So save that for when I maybe charge this instead. Try and rally the swordsman. Yes, they're back in action. There's naught else for the cannon to do but shoot that. Splat, 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 splat. And you are still stuck. I can't move you, and you can't even shoot this, so in case the trolls happen to turn around and start pummeling my poor griffin, you can rear charge them. Here goes this magnificent combat. I don't lose 1, which is great. Yeah, dead takes 4 wounds, now that we gamed it out correctly. And over here, can you break these? They've got terrible discipline, so if you can do any damage here, you might have them. They're all double 6 to save, unfortunately, so maybe not. Do a single wound, you might run anyway. They do, haha! And they can face it if they're off the field. Trolls have good stats, and the regen is fantastic, but they have the same problem that all the orcs and goblins do. Terrible discipline. If you can get a flank or rear on them, they've probably had it. Alright, so we've basically won this now. Just being mean at this point. we're shooting them for the purpose of that. It speeds up their morale depletion, so allows us to get out of combat faster. Quite enough this turn, I don't think. You've got a ranged attack as well, you might as well use it. Still holding on for whatever reason. You're routing this turn, just hammer the spacebar. Skip all of this. Yeah, whatever. You have already lost, you don't even know it. Well, presumably they would know it, it's their morale that's failed. There you go, no damage sustained, perfect battle. Okay, I'm basically healthy in all the guys, so we'll just take all the gold. Not bad, and that leaves us with pretty much... We've cleaned our Act 1 save for the boss, so... Whew, nice little sprint there. I think I'll stop there. We'll kill the boss and we'll hammer into Act 2 in the next part. We aim to clean up a lot of that quickly as well. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that was informative. There's a number of potential very viable strategies for beating the game really one-sidedly. So this is one of them, taking a very fast mobile skirmishing force that the enemy can't really do anything about because the AI isn't smart enough to outposition you. So a bit of a good understanding of initiative and getting around the enemy and just shooting them to death. A fast flying unit to deal with the stuff at the back. Cannons to deal with their big elite cavalry and monsters when we start seeing them. And the swordsman we're forced to take because that's the character. If you're having difficulty and you truly want to min-max, I'd maybe suggest the Knight Commander because he starts with heavy cavalry. So you could have you could in theory have light cav, heavy cav, and another heavy cav. You can have an all cavalry army, which is amazing. But the swordsmen will serve. They're still useful as we've seen them. They can distract units and generate gold, so they serve a purpose. Otherwise, we're doing quite nicely. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If so, please do like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I do appreciate it. If you have any notes on what you'd like to see, or maybe something I could be doing better, or any ideas for future runs in SOVL, or indeed other kind of Warhammer-related games, I'm all ears. Any comments you leave down in the comment section will be seen and taken on board. Or if you just want to chat with me and others, that's fine too. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.